Controversies are swirling around Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump.
Yeah, the first is a bit bizarre, and the second is about his views on taxes. KCAL 9 political reporter Bryan joins us now with a look at Trump's Friday in the headlines. Dave?
You know, Donald Trump's gotten a lot of mileage out of making phone calls to a lot of the different network morning shows, and he's done well with it. But today, things didn't quite go, I think, the way he expected. Donald Trump was in a chatty mood and called into some network morning shows to promote his candidacy. But he was in no mood to answer questions about his taxes or allegations that he may have made some crank phone calls back in the day.
What's your name again? John Miller.
When someone calling himself John Miller made a publicity call to People magazine in 1991, the conversation was being taped. The caller said he was representing Donald Trump. Now the Washington Post has made the recording public.
I know somebody that knows, and I think somebody that he trusts and likes.
For nearly 15 minutes, the caller boasted about Trump, his financial successes, and his conquests with women.
Actresses, people that you write about, just call to see if they can go out with them and things.
He said Trump was already breaking off a relationship with girlfriend Marla Maples.
He's coming out of a marriage and he's starting to do tremendously well financially.
Back then, Trump reportedly admitted he was the caller, not John Miller, calling it a joke that got out of hand. But now he says, no, it wasn't.
It doesn't sound like me on the phone, I will tell you that, and it was not me on the phone. You're going so low as to talk about something that took place 25 years ago about whether or not I made a phone call. The answer is no, and let's get on to more current subjects.
Inside Edition reports John Miller used one of Trump's favorite phrases in the conversation.
He called and wanted to go out with him, that I can tell you.
That I can tell you.
Nobody respects women more than Donald Trump, that I can tell you.
That I can tell you.
He is not presidential material, that I can tell you. I take the coach every single time, that I can tell you.
Yes, of course it's Donald.
New York Daily News reporter Linda Stacy has covered Donald Trump for years. She says there's no doubt.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I am 10. I'm 11. Everybody in the news business knows this goes on with Donald. He's been doing it for 30 years. It's like you be in a newsroom and say, oh, it's fake Donald Trump again.
Forensic sound expert Tom Owen told CNN his testing made it clear.
I can conclude with a fair degree of scientific certainty that it is Donald Trump's voice.
But another forensic audio expert told Inside Edition the tests concluded it was not Donald Trump on the phone conversations.
The first test yielded a 97.5% mismatch, meaning it's not the voice of Donald Trump. It does sound a lot like Donald Trump, but you can't trump science.
Trump also called another morning show where things also didn't necessarily go as expected when he was pressed on whether the voters have a right to see his tax returns before the election.
I don't think they do, but I do say this. When the audit ends, I'm going to present them. That should be before the election. I hope it's before the election.
What is your tax rate?
It's none of your business. You'll see it when I release. But I fight very hard to pay as little tax as possible.
A Republican Party spokesman on CNN stayed out of the line of fire.
Mr. Trump's got to make a decision sooner rather than later about whether or not to release his tax returns.
Now, Trump made it clear that he fights as hard as he can, as you heard, to pay the least amount of taxes possible. Later, he said it's because he believes the government wastes the revenue it gets from the American taxpayers and throws the money down the drain. That raises the prospect of an American president giving license to those who cheat on their taxes or just don't pay them at all. Lots of things to think about here with these issues.
Yeah, so, but it sounds really outrageous, all the things that we keep on hearing, but nothing has seemed to really stop his momentum so far. I mean, do you expect this to be any different? Why would it be any different?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, it's a very good question. It may not be any different, but certainly these issues certainly raise some possible opportunities for the Democrats. The phone issue, if proven to be true, and that may not happen, may not be a game changer, but it may add to the impression that Trump is strange and maybe doesn't demonstrate the kind of behavior and demeanor that Americans would want in the White House. And the tax issue could raise questions about what Trump is hiding. And the fact is, there is no law that prevents someone whose taxes are being audited from making their tax returns public. That is entirely 100% the taxpayer's choice, Jeff.